Please welcome this week's special guest, Mick. So, Kelly, what is Mick to you?
Well, this is Mick, and I have a photo of him in my car to stop me getting road rage.
Right. Joe, how do you know Mick?
This is Mick, and when we were bell ringing together in church, he was responsible for me being hoisted 20 foot up in the air.
And Lee, what's your relationship with Mick?
This is Mick. His surname is Partridge, and I once had to rescue him when he was stuck up a pear tree.
So, there we have it. David, where do you want to start?
OK.
Can you do me a favour? Can you start with these two, because I might need a while.
Kelly, why have you got a photo of Mick to avoid road rage? How does that help?
Mick's known me for a long, long time. So he used to have to calm me down quite a lot on the track, and then he used to come and watch some of the races, because obviously when you're a young kid, you get your family members and friends and things to come. And so, because Mick used to always make me smile when I was stressed, he gave me this one photo.
And what is he doing in the photo?
Smiling.
Is he wearing anything, or...?
Well, luckily, it's just a headshot.
Do you ever get road rage, Ruth? Is that something that affects you?
I do get annoyed, but I don't show any anger or rage. I tend to just smile or blow a kiss or wave at them in an annoying fashion.
In an ironic... ironic man.
Yeah,
David, I would imagine you're an absolute brute at the wheel.
I am not legally allowed to drive a car.
Oh.
Does that mean you drive a car illegally?
No, I haven't... what's the expression?
Passed your test?
Yeah, that's it.
Passed
yeah,
your
yeah.
test. Oh. But have you ever had lessons?
Oh, yeah. Ineffective in terms of engendering in my brain the knowledge of how to drive.
How many lessons did you have?
Up to 45,000.
OK. Who would you like to quiz next?
So, Joe, bell ringing.
Yeah.
Are you a keen bell ringer?
Not anymore.
Were you a keen bell ringer?
I was never really that keen on it, if I'm honest.
Have you ever been bell ringing?
I have been bell ringing.
Where was it and why did you give it a go?
It was in a church, David.
Yeah.
What was the church called?
I can't remember, actually. Saint Somethings.
No, that narrows it down.
Yeah. Can you remember where it was?
Yeah, it was in a village in Kent.
OK, that's plausible. If she'd said North Korea, we could have questioned it. What was the scene? Well, picture the scene for us.
Well, what happened was I had been to church a few times. I didn't like it.
So when was this? What age were you?
About 12.
Right.
And so I could either have gone in the church choir or been a bell ringer.
And what happened? What did Mick do that led to
Well,
this?
it was a sort of prank that used to be played on new ringers. And what happened was that Mick said to me, "Can you hold this a minute?" And I just put my hand out without looking, held onto the rope and just went like that, right, like
20 feet up in the air?
Yes, I did.
How old was Mick then?
A couple of years older than me.
So you were about 12, he was sort of 14.
Oh, so he was a young lad doing it. I was imagining him at the age he is now.
It's before the service. You're doing the pre-service bell ringing.
Yeah.
Why aren't you on your own bell rope? What are you doing there that you're able to respond to his call, you know, grab hold of this? Which is a dangerous thing to respond to without looking in all sorts of circumstances.
Not quite as dangerous as your impression of bell ringing, which looks more like cow milking. You're going like this.
Sorry, I'm no sort of mime, but what is it more like that? Is that more like it? Happy Christmas!
You have to get it from one position to another position, and while you're doing that, that's when it's dangerous.
And how do you do that? Is that using the rope, sort of, you yank it along with the rope?
You have to pull the rope in a particular way.
Oh, well,
you
it'd be a nice
demonstrate?
chance for you to demonstrate how you pull it.
Well, when you're actually ringing a bell properly, you start by putting your hand up and getting the end of the bell rope, which is about that far above your head. You pull that down and you catch the fluffy bit, and then you pull that down with both hands, then you let go one hand and let it go right up, so it's like that. So that's ringing a bell. In order to get the bell in the right position, you pull it like this. And as you pull it... That's why he married me.
Now, what about Lee and his claim?
Yeah, no, that's not true.
OK, what was he doing up the pear tree, Lee?
He was rescuing a cat. No further questions.
Where was the pear tree?
Next to the cat. The pear tree was in the grounds of a pub.
OK, and this was like in the beer garden.
We were having drinks outside in the beer garden.
Yeah.
We had a bit too many. We went back inside. It got dark, got late, and then we were staying in a local hotel. Everyone was going out to get the taxis home, and that's when I heard a scream. Help! What a pear tree! And, I thought, what? I remember saying, hark!
Did you know Mick? Was he one of your friends who'd gone to the pub?
Mick, it turns out, I never met him before in my life. Mick, it turns out, was the landlord of the pub.
Right.
Right.
And which answers the question why we weren't getting served, but we'll forget that for a minute.
Yeah. How big a tree was it, Lee, and how high was Mick?
The pear tree was quite high, I would say. Using Mick as a measurement of 1, I would say it was about 5 Micks.
How did you actually rescue him?
So I shouted up, "What are you doing up there, mate?" And he said, well, this is what I heard at the time. Hey, mate. Came up to her. I said, "You'd have to shout, mate. You're 5 Micks up."
He's right in the top. It's a 5 Mick tree, and he's right at the top.
Yeah, but
I was thinking it'd be about 3.5 Micks.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, though, it was sort of lying on the branch, so his head was only 4 Micks and a bit high.
Right.
And he said, "Well, go and get help." So I said, "Well, have you got any ladders?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Right, well, good luck." And off I went.
But how had he got up there? How did he manage to get up there in the first place?
How did he manage? Well, he clambered up. So the cat was, it turns out, was at the top of the tree, right at the top. I'm talking 5.5 Micks because there was a thin branch at the top. So he's basically... A pear tree is full of... That's the word.
For a very brief period of the year.
Yes.
Yes,
Is he up there?
Well, would you believe that this cat was partial to a pear? So it wouldn't have happened any other time. He says he's always like this, his country bloke. Always like this, he is.
But he wouldn't go for a near pear. Not
Or one of the many that drop on the floor.
Not one that had fallen.
David, it was the last pear. He'd eaten the others.
So it wasn't full of pears. There was only one pear
It was full
at
of
the top,
no.
like an angel.
He was full of pears when he started climbing. He'd been up there for 2.5 seasons. So off I went and got the ladder, clambered up the first bit of the ladder, and I just sort of helped Mick down onto the ladder, and we became lovers. So no questions.
All right, well, we need an answer. So, David's team, is Mick Kelly's calming companion, Joe's bell-ringing buddy, or Lee's partridge in a pear tree?
I think it's Joe that's telling the truth. Do you know why? Because of a rope action.
You think it's Joe?
Yeah, and I don't know what it would take to calm you down, Dame Kelly. I don't think Mick is the answer, though. Oh.
He looks calm now. You want to see him on the top of a pear tree gripping a cat. Absolutely embittered.
What are you thinking, David?
I think it's Joe. That's what I think.
You think
Yeah.
the bell ringing? Ruth thinks
Possibly.
bell ringing. Bill?
Yeah, I'll go with bell
The
ringing.
bell for Bill.
Yeah.
OK. Right. They all think it's Joe. Mick, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Mick, and I was responsible for Joe being hoisted 20 feet off of the ground.
Yes, Mick is Joe's bell-ringing buddy. Thank you very much, Mick. Thank you.